Welcome everybody to the 2021 Virtual Dempsey Challenge. I'm live here from the Zwift HQ in Long Beach, California. We have an amazing day planned ahead of us, 60 minutes of riding, all to support the Dempsey Center. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about the Dempsey Challenge. I am Travis McKenzie, I'm the host. The Dempsey Challenge is traditionally an in-person event hosted in Maine. And over the last 2 years, we've been very fortunate enough to be able to host a virtual challenge on Zwift. Now, today's goal is to raise $20,000, which will add to the total that we're shooting for, which is $1.5 million. All funds raised go to support the services of the Dempsey Center, which provides no-cost cancer support services to anybody who needs them. Cancer patients, their caregivers, loved ones, family, and friends. Founded in 2008, the Dempsey Center has supported Mainers and hopefully now global participants going forward. As I said, I'm Travis McKenzie. I'm joined today with Patrick Dempsey, who we'll talk to in a moment, the founder of the Dempsey Center, as well as many other guests from the Dempsey Center in Maine. Before we go any further, why don't we take a look at what the Dempsey Center is all about?
There are so many people affected by cancer. The person who has been diagnosed, but then there's the family member, friends, everybody. And we treat and help the individual, the family, the team, and the heart and soul. And my mom was diagnosed in 1998 with ovarian cancer. You know, when you get that information, it's so overwhelming. You don't know how to process it. You don't know what to do. How do you help? What do you do? That's when I sort of awakened to wellness centers. That's how it all started. We're working with the hospital, we're working with the doctors so that what we're doing has the science base to it, which is very important. But at the same time, you also have the emotion and the touch on top of that.
By listening and utilizing the best evidence-based Western medical approaches as well as the best evidence-based wellness-enhancing approaches to care, we're creating a circle around the patient, with the patient at the center driving their own care.
And how do we go about doing that? It's different for every individual, depending on what their cancer is or if it's a caregiver, and we listen to them and what their needs are, what their wants are. We'll then customize the program around that. I think this is such a huge part, is this element of it, is that integrative therapy. I mean, that's what I would want, and that's what we try to provide, and I know that's what my mother wanted. What's been the most amazing thing is how much the community itself has made this possible. Quality of life care is really, in essence, what we do.
We've known each other since we were literally infants. So for her to call me and tell me she had cancer, I'm 2,000 miles away. I have to hope that she has those resources close by, and the Dempsey Center has just done beautiful, beautiful things for her.
It's very raw, it's real, it's, you know, it touches everyone, and it's just, it's good work, and how can you say no to that?
You make it possible. All of you, each and every one of you, make it possible to really transform people's lives, and we thank you for that, and let's continue doing it. We have a lot of work to do.
Unbelievable. That what an amazing place the Dempsey Center is, and what an amazing job showcasing exactly what we do with the center and the challenge. As I mentioned earlier, I am here live in person with the founder of the Dempsey Center, Patrick Dempsey. Patrick, welcome.
Well, thank you very much. Great to be here.
Now, you've got a bit of a sweat on your brow already. You are riding today with almost 1,000 other people from around the world. We've seen people from Montreal. We've seen people from all over the US, all over Europe. How does that feel to know that you are leading these folks on the charge today on the Zwift Dempsey Challenge?
Well, I want to thank everybody for supporting. It's such a great cause. Really, we really appreciate it. The money that you raise makes it possible for us to provide the services at no cost to the client and their family. So that's pretty remarkable. And then to see everybody who's participating around the world, some familiar names and faces I see there, which is great. And it's nice always to ride together as a group and to be able to bring everybody together with this technology from around the world. Here in Long Beach, which is really quite remarkable because it all started here with the Amgen Tour de California 14, 15 years ago now.
Yeah, and that really was the
That was
impetus of the Dempsey
inspiration.
Center. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us more about that. Tell us about the history of the Dempsey Center.
Well, it came about, my mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 97. And there was nothing like the center in the town. I grew up in Lewiston, Maine, central part of the state of Maine. And I was a spokesman for the Amgen Tour de California, the Breakaway from Cancer Initiative. All these different groups helping people, building that team of support, very much like a Peloton, very much like a team on cycling. It's like everybody has their role. How do you support your hopefully winner? And that's how it started. I was like, well, what can I do in my community back home that's similar to this? And then get to know other like-minded centers around the world. And that's where it started.
Yeah.
Right here in Long Beach, actually.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
truly is.
serendipitous. And now we are here in Long Beach, as you mentioned, at the Zwift HQ for the second version of the Zwift Challenge. But we do have an in-person challenge as well in Maine that happens every year.
Yes.
Tell me more about how that started and your love for the challenge that we have every weekend, or the last weekend in September back in Lewiston, Maine.
It was really, we wanted to do something that was a fundraising activity that wasn't a banquet, that also promoted healthy living. Exercise is really important for your immune system. And then if you're going into any treatment, anything like that, you got to be in shape. You got to get ready for that. So we wanted to get people active and give them individual challenges. So we, like the biking for me is something I love to do. My mother loved walking and people love to run. So we were like, let's put all that together and see what we can do to kind of bring the community together. And that was just fantastic spirit the first season. And now we're building and we're doing events like this, and it's very similar in feel. I mean, I'm getting great comments from people, and I want to shout out to them and thank them.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we also, like any great organization with a founder, there also takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and a lot of other great people to foster that journey and foster that mission.
Have to have a great team, and we're incredibly blessed with great volunteers, great staff in the board, and it's continued to grow in a really positive way, where the spirit and the feeling about what it is that we're doing and the reason we're doing it brings everybody together, and you work as a team.
Yeah. And it's not just you and I and the thousands of people on Zwift. We also have some of our colleagues in Maine right now who are going to join us and are joining us and riding as well. Part of the team at the Dempsey Center, but also some of our community. So we do have some special guests, Patrick, Lizzie the legend, Dr. Lizzie Baker. She's joining us as well from Maine. We also have the Dempsey Center Nutritional Program Coordinator, Judy Donnelly, and our Chief Program Director as well, Lisa Balsam. They're all riding in the Dempsey Center, and we will cross to them and talk to them a little bit more in the show. Now, we are now wanting to think about and talk about the donation again. So as I mentioned earlier, $20,000 is our goal for today's event, which will go into the total of $1.5 million raised to support those who are managing the impact of cancer. So if you are watching and you do want to get involved and do want to make a donation, the link that you can go to is giveandgain.com/e/Dempsey Challenge. There is a link below the show here that you can go, click, make a donation, and as mentioned, all those funds go to support the work of the Dempsey Center. Patrick, how are you feeling? How is the ride?
It's getting a little racy now. It's so funny. You get in the group and you're like, okay, wait, I got to get up front now. I got to push through here.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. It's great to see all the different countries represented. It's good to see all the jerseys of the Dempsey Challenge up there running in mass, which is great.
Yeah.
In all the comments along the way. But it's fun. I really love riding like this and communicating. Even though you're alone, you have this wonderful virtual community.
Yeah.
And that's something we wanted to extend with the center as well. It's like, how do we use technology in a positive way to bring people together?
Yeah.
And this is a great example of that.
A great show of that. Now, why don't we share with the viewers at home exactly where we're riding today? So we are in the wonderful world of Watopia, Zwift's home base, home country. We're riding on the Volcano Flat course. It may not feel very flat right now, Patrick, but we are going to be here for 60 minutes, so hang on tight. 12.4 kilometers per loop. So from my American friends, that's 7.7 miles. 46 meters of climbing in each loop, 151 feet. Some of the highlights of the course that you would have seen already and you can keep an eye out for as we go along today is the underwater ocean boulevard. We've got the beautiful dolphins and all the fish swimming around us. We also have a lap of the base of the volcano. We're going to go through the Italian village, which you may be familiar with, given your recent work in Rome and in Italy. We'll go down the land bridge, so hold on tight as the group goes down that rickety bridge. We're going to then head inside and around the volcano, back to the main island and downtown Watopia. Patrick, I know you've enjoyed your time on Zwift recently, so tell me more about what you love about the opportunity to get on Zwift, get a great workout in, and spend time with the community there.
It's a great workout, number one. There's no rusting. You got to get on there and you charge right away. But you can push yourself, and then you have other people that can give you the motivation to push you harder. The varying degrees of the fitness. I mean, sometimes it's demoralizing if you're getting on the bike and you get started, but then you start to build your confidence up, and you see such a huge difference when you get back out on the road, or you're up in the mountains and you're mountain biking and you're away from the trainer. So it's a great safe way to train. It's a great way to train with a group of people. And once again, it's just good for you psychologically and emotionally. I think it's important that we exercise.
It's a great way to build community too. And I can see you're collecting the ride-ons, the thumbs up in your jersey pockets there. And that's one thing that really lends itself to the Dempsey Challenge as well, is the community that we build. And this year we were very lucky and fortunate to be able to come back together and host an in-person Dempsey Challenge again in Lewiston, Maine. The conditions weren't amazing, but we can talk more about that later.
Sure.
Why don't we take a look at this year's Dempsey Challenge? What an amazing time we had in Maine in September this year. I felt very fortunate to be able to ride and run in the Dempsey Challenge. And it really felt like a reunion of getting folks back together. And one of those people that I had the privilege and honor of riding with is joining us today from the Dempsey Center. Lizzie the legend, Dr. Baker. How are you, Lizzie? Welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm great. How are you guys?
We're having a great time here. I'm also happy that the weather is a little better than what we experienced on the ride this year at the Dempsey Challenge. It was a pretty miserable day with a lot of joy wrapped in it as well. I'm sure you're feeling the same way being inside and dry this time around.
Yeah, and I have a beautiful view of the foliage out the window, so really privileged right now.
Yeah. Now, you've had many years' experience with the Dempsey Challenge. I know you and I have ridden in a few together. Tell me about how that experience started for you. How did you first get involved in the Dempsey Challenge?
Sure. So I was actually I was a local pediatrician, and I heard about the challenge because I was working at a hospital in town, just adjacent to the Dempsey Center. And I signed up a couple months in advance, and then the month before the challenge started, my mom was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. So I decided that I had to go big and do the biggest ride that was offered, which then was a 2-day ride. And we did 130 miles in 2 days, which was definitely the most I'd ever ridden in my life. And since then, I've just been trying to participate to the largest degree possible.
And you did an amazing job in that ride. I remember the conditions weren't great that year either. But tell me a little bit more. I know that you have this signature about you. You have your war paint, and you put that on every day, and to you that symbolizes strength and moving forward. Tell me about that and where that came from and how you continue to rep the war paint on a daily basis.
You know, it was a very spontaneous motion for me to start wearing war paint, but I felt like I had to help my mom fight this war against cancer, and I feel like that for everyone. For our family, it's been super effective. She is 6 years into terminal diagnosis and going strong, doing great. And I feel like, you know, for my pediatric patients, I'm a pediatrician in the hospital, and I only do emergency and inpatient work. And I think they all really appreciate the lightness that it brings every day when I wear that, even when I have a mask on.
Yeah. Now, Lizzie, we have just received a $1,111 donation from Jackie Craver. Jackie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jackie.
That is incredible. Thank you. And what that does, Jackie, and for everyone else watching, it allows us to continue to provide those services at the Dempsey Center. And now you and I, we got together this year at the ride. It felt like a reunion. What was your experience like getting back into real life together at the Dempsey Challenge in 2021?
Oh, I had a great weekend. I actually had come back from Jackson Hole really too late on Friday night, and I rallied and ran the 5K Saturday morning, and then Sunday got on the bike in the rain, and we took a drenched ride around and had a wonderful time. It was awesome.
It was a wonderful time. It was. It really was. It was wonderful to have that.
I know Patrick thought it was awesome.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think that's the...
Yeah, Patrick, what was your experience this year at the challenge with those weather conditions?
Well, I was watching the weather all week, and I knew it was like if we had the run, which was Saturday, and the walk, we'd be okay. The bike, I don't mind riding in the rain, and it's as long as I'm prepared and have the right clothing, and we did. So it was really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A little treacherous in places, but we had a good time.
It was.
It was a fun group.
It was a great group.
We were in safe hands. We had a doctor with us.
Yeah, Patrick, what do you think about Jackie's donation that just came through?
Thank you, Jackie, very much for that donation. I mean, that makes a huge impact in several lives. I mean, you can take someone through an entire program of acupuncture with that type of money and really make a big difference on their recovery time. So we can't thank you enough. All the money that is raised, that money goes 100% into the center so that those services can be provided at no cost to the client.
Yeah, Jackie, you're a star. Thank you so much for that. Now, great segue, actually. Why don't we take a look at the impact that the Dempsey Center has on the recipients of those funds and the services? Let's take a look.
The essence of the Dempsey Center is really feeling supported and cared for in a really genuine and authentic way when you walk through the door, and just feel kind of held and taken care of.
When I officially got the diagnosis, it was, life-shattering.
The doctor came to us and said, you have a pretty large tumor. You're going to need to have surgery and probably chemotherapy, and so you have cancer. So that was the day that it was the bombshell that all of our lives changed. It was shocking. Society kind of wants us to all face cancer with bravery and positivity all the time, and that's just not how it's been for me. Like, there's been a lot of times when I haven't felt brave or positive. I've felt depressed and anxious and scared, but I've gotten through those times with the help of people here at the Dempsey Center and others and my family.
I think what we hear most often is how they didn't really know what they needed until they found it here.
Treating the whole person shouldn't really be a novel idea, right? You'd think it would be, common practice, but unfortunately, until the rest of the world kind of catches up with that, we really need places like the Dempsey Center to be able to meet those needs that just aren't getting met elsewhere.
We are so lucky to have the Dempsey Center for people that are looking to really make an impact on people's lives and families that are going through cancer. I cannot think of a better place to show that support than with the Dempsey Center. You are literally changing people's lives for the better. You're changing my life, my family's life, because of this invaluable resource. So to me, it's kind of when you think about community impact, this is a place that is at the top of the list.
Oh, what an emotional and beautiful, beautiful story there. Now, big shout out to one of the participants in that particular video, Trevor Maxwell. We know that Trevor is still battling. He's recently just had surgery and has started his next round of chemo. So, Trevor, big love to you, mate. Thank you. Thank you so much. Patrick, you talk about in that video treating the person and not necessarily the disease. Tell me what that means to you, because that is really an important distinction about the Dempsey Center and the work that we get to do.
Right. I think there's so much that's unknown, that's out of your control, that you don't have as a patient and someone who's just been diagnosed with cancer. So our job and what we really want to do is just support people where they're at. Yeah. It's like, what do they want to achieve? Here's the menu of things that we have for you. This is what we recommend. We're going to work with your doctor. But you know your body better than anybody. You know your family. So we want to listen to you and help you, empower your family. And that's the goal here. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. And you see the impact. Yeah. And the reason we're doing an event like this is I see so many people from around the world. We talked a little bit before it started. We have a lot of cancer survivors. What we would really love to do is be able to network with other like-minded centers around the world so that we can have a great group connected. So no matter where you are in the world, we can sort of recommend another like-minded center. So if you know of another center that's like this, I know there's a place in Ireland called the Purple House, which I went to visit.
Yeah.
I think he's riding with us today.
Yeah, Connor's out there. Connor,
so he's the founder. His mother founded that. Beautiful, very much what it's in the spirit of what we're doing at the center. Yeah. We want to connect with other like-minded centers around the world so that we can provide best service for people. Yeah. And how do we come about doing that? I think we're stronger if we all work together and we network.
Yeah, I think it's well said, because events like this open us up to a global community. And there is a global community of cancer, and there's a global community of people who do need support and they do need services. Now, we do have Steve Beckett through a ride on there, and also a fantastic donation, $1,500. Steve, thank you so much, mate.
Yeah, that takes care of like 6 people in an acupuncture series for them, or helping someone with something that they need. That's huge impact. That donation makes a big difference. Yeah. And thank you very much.
Yeah, that's so we're at 13,356. I don't want to discount and play down what it means for those fantastic donations. So Jackie, Steve, thank you so much. But Patrick, every dollar counts as well. It doesn't have to be a grand donation like that. It can be a few dollars here and there, because every dollar makes a difference.
Yeah, and it's tough times right now. Everybody's struggling. We're transitioning. We're coming out of COVID. The value of the dollar is not quite what it used to be. So anything that you can contribute makes a huge impact, and we're certainly very grateful for that.
Yeah, and if you do want to make a donation, please see the link at the bottom there, giveandgain/e/Dempsey Challenge. Now, to learn more about the programs and the services offered at the Dempsey Center, there's no one better to describe them than our Chief Program Director, Lisa Balsam, who is joining us live from the Dempsey Center.
There she is.
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Look at that view. How are you today, Lisa?
Doing great. How are you guys?
We're great here. We're
Can you
great.
hear me
I feel
okay?
like I have the easy job. I can hear you. I feel like I've had the easy job sitting here. You guys are riding and doing the hard work. How do you feel? How do you feel about the ride so far, Lisa? You having a good time?
I'm having a great time, and I love seeing those donations pop up. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The work that we can do with that money is just amazing. So I appreciate every dollar you all have donated.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Lisa, you are in the Maine Dempsey Center, the original hub of the center in Lewiston, Maine. We also have other centers as well, one in South Portland. Why don't you describe a little bit about the infrastructure that we have around the Dempsey Center, as well as those virtual services we can now offer as well?
Absolutely. So not only are the two brick and mortar locations you just mentioned, we also have Dempsey Connects, which I know you guys have touched upon, related to our virtual services, which is amazing because we now can reach people here in rural parts of the state as well as locally, nationally, and internationally. So some of those services now are being brought to everybody across the nation and internationally, which is amazing. Some
now,
of the
Lisa,
services
can you
that
tell us more? Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask if you could tell us more about those services that are being offered and elaborate a little bit more about what is provided by the Dempsey Center.
We are a haven of support for people here dealing with their cancer impact. So some of the things that we provide are counseling, one-on-one services, group support. We offer movement and fitness, consultations, classes. We offer nutrition, which I know we're going to hear from someone very special about that shortly, for consultations and classes. We offer the complementary therapy services that Patrick mentioned related to acupuncture, massage, and Reiki. So it's an amazing amount of additional supportive services for people as they're going through their cancer journey. Not clinical, but providing just an ability to come share what's going on with yourself and get some real support as you're going through that. Not just for the cancer patient, but the caregiver, the family, the children that are affected by it. So it's an amazing, amazing program going on here, all at no cost, as you guys have been mentioning. And so those donations are helping us today to carry those services on.
Yeah. I think that's such an important distinction, Lisa, is that it's not just the patient, it is the family, it is the caregivers, it is the people around them that are also able to access those services as well. Patrick, why is that so important that we focus on not just the individual, but their community as well?
When someone's diagnosed with a cancer diagnosis, I mean, it affects the entire family. And everybody is looking for some way to help support or to understand what's happening. And we understand that, and we want to really help people. Certainly the caregivers, it's exhausting emotionally for them, and they need a place to go to be supported and to recover and to recharge, and also have support groups. The kids as well. We have a wonderful Healing Tree, which is a remarkable program where you get kids in there that are with their peers, that have an opportunity. It's a safe environment with the right counseling to be able to open up, to connect with those emotions, to be able to let those emotions flow out so it doesn't get bottled up. And then you have the breakthrough moments of that, which is really extraordinary. So we try to take into consideration everything and how the cancer diagnosis is affecting the entire family.
Now, this may be a simple question, but why does this work matter so much, especially in the world we're living in today?
It's about people who have empathy, who care. It's not just about running you through, and I don't think the doctors feel that way. I think they're just overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I mean, we can talk about from the doctor's perspective how difficult it is, but it's you want a moment where you can just stop, think and feel and process and absorb all this new information. So we really believe that the type of work that we're doing, other centers like the Purple House, is it should go hand in hand as soon as someone is diagnosed with cancer, that they're not alone, that they have these support organizations or facilities that they can go to. Because it's like training for an event, right? You need to get yourself mentally, physically ready, geared up to attack the treatment.
Yeah.
And it's brutal because you have good days where you have strong legs, and then you have days where you had a big climb and you can't make it. You're going to need the support of your team to get you up across that mountain.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, our real mission here and an opportunity using this event is to spread that messaging and to connect.
Yeah. Now, Lisa, for anyone who is at home watching, who may be managing a cancer diagnosis or know someone that is, how can they access the services? How can they get in touch with the Dempsey Center? What's the best way for them to reach out and get that support?
Great question. Just dempseycenter.org is our website. As soon as you go on there, it asks how to begin. And we'll be able to bring you into the fold, give us a call, just join us through the website. It's a great way to begin.
Amazing. So once again, dempseycenter.org, all the resources there. Please feel free to reach out if you are experiencing or in the middle of a cancer diagnosis, or you know someone or someone you love is as well. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fantastic to have you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the ride. Thank you again, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks.
Now, as we continue to ride through Watopia, Patrick is having a good time. The rest of you hopefully are having a good time. There is still the opportunity to donate as well. So please make sure you check out the donation link that's in the show notes here below the broadcast. Once again, that is giveandgain.com/e/Dempsey Challenge. Please, as we said, every dollar counts. So far, we are getting closer and closer to that $1.5 million total, Patrick. $13,393 raised today. I want to introduce someone else from the Dempsey Center who can talk a little bit about the success that we've had this year. So our goal to raise $1.5 million will be a 20% increase in donations from previous years. So I want to introduce Judy Donnelly, Nutrition Program Coordinator at the Dempsey Center, who's joining us live from the kitchen in the Dempsey Center. Judy, you're looking fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Travis. You know, we usually say around here that it's so cold in the Dempsey Center. It's not cold today. It's feeling balmy.
You're definitely working up a sweat there. What's your experience with Zwift so far? I know that you're relatively new to Zwift. How is it that you get to experience such a great event for your first or second time around on Zwift?
This is my first time around with Zwift, and I really didn't have a lot of knowledge about what to expect, but it's been so much fun. Seeing people from all different countries passing me. I get to pass somebody every once in a while. But it's been really fun, and the volcano, that really heated up the room.
It did. It really did. Now, Judy, you are the Nutrition Program Coordinator. You're much more than that, but I know that, Patrick, you also have a passion for nutrition and healthy eating. Judy, tell us about the program that you run at the Dempsey Center.
Sure. So there's kind of three prongs to our program. We're able to offer nutrition consultation services on a one-on-one basis with people who have a cancer diagnosis. So we can help them spruce up their nutrition to get ready for treatment, help them eat well to manage the side effects of their treatment. And then once into survivorship, we can help them eat as well as possible to reduce their risk for cancer going forward.
Now,
we also...
You did talk about... Sorry, you go. Keep going. Keep rolling. You're on a roll.
All right. And you can see I'm here in our lovely Dempsey Center demonstration kitchen. So the other big part of our program is offering cooking and nutrition classes where we can really help people understand how to prepare food they might not be particularly familiar with, and just help them tease out all the information and perhaps misinformation that you hear about diet and cancer out in the world.
Now, you are working on that nutrition program, and traditionally those cooking classes would have been done in person. And given everything we experienced as a society last year, we had to shift gears and we had to offer up some of those services virtually through the Dempsey Connects program. Tell me what that's been like for you to offer cooking classes and nutrition programs in that virtual setting through the Dempsey Connects program.
Sure. So I'd like to say, COVID's been just hard on everybody, and we really missed seeing our clients in person, but Dempsey Connects started pretty much immediately once the Dempsey Center closed down in March of 2020. And it's really opened up a new world for us. We were able to see, initially it was people would come to the center who lived in a location where it was easily accessible to them. But now we're able to reach people throughout the state of Maine, throughout the United States, and even outside of the United States. So it's really been a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah. Judy, you're amazing. You're a star. I love every conversation I have with you. Thank you so much. Now, let's throw to a little video that will talk to us a little bit more about the virtual services offered through Dempsey Connects.
Our classes are designed specifically to meet the needs of our clients with a cancer diagnosis. They are open to all clients of the Dempsey Center. Everybody really takes in what it is that they need from the class. When class is done, we have conversations, we connect, we engage. It's almost like a support group in and of itself. And then folks go off and do their day.
When it came out that they were going to do some online virtual things, I was so happy, so excited, because I'm a people person and I missed people, and that was the first thing, the first outreach that allowed me to see other people, and people I knew from having gone a few times and people I didn't know that I got to meet. So I was very grateful that we have the technology to do things like that and that they were offering those classes.
The cooking classes online have really been okay. They're fun. They're still interactive because I have a moderator who, brings me questions from the audience. So the audience gets to be very engaged, and honestly, I've been able to reach more people because there are a lot of people who choose not to come to the center, COVID or no COVID. Their immune system is compromised and they're a little bit nervous about coming to the center. So now they can still be part of a nutrition class and be engaged, but in the comfort of their own home.
You can access support groups, you can access Tai Chi, nutrition consultations, and just all the pieces that you have no understanding of how fundamental they are to you and your family until you're in the middle of it. And that's what the Dempsey Center is offering.
So I know even if a client doesn't walk through our doors, they will continue to feel that comfort through our virtual services. So we've got the best of both worlds.
What great people. We talked about earlier needing a great team around you and needing to be able to respond to challenges that are thrown your way. Patrick, I want to hear more about the virtual services and how that was fast-tracked with the start of COVID, but now how that's grown and will continue to grow, and why that's so important.
We've been talking about it from day one, actually, because we have a lot of people in rural Maine that it's very hard for them to be able to drive down. Maine's a vast state. In certainly the winter months, it's very hard for people to get to the cities just to be able to afford the fuel to supply the petrol to get to that facility. So this was always something that we were talking about. We were like, how do we reach people in northern Maine, in remote areas that can't get to us, or because of the weather conditions? And because of COVID, it really accelerated the program beyond our expectations, what we could do so quickly. And it's a solid impact in those areas that we were wanting to target and be able to reach. We've been able to do that, but also to just keeping that sense of, community, so people aren't feeling so isolated and alone. It's really, we've been able to use the technology in a positive way. Yeah. And it's not the total answer, but it's a tool that helps get us to the next step.
Yeah, and it has extended the reach not only in Maine, but also across the US as well. Right. We know we have had folks who have used the services in many of the US states.
Yes.
But your goal really is bigger than that, and it is to create like-minded centers or partner with like-minded centers around the world, like the Purple House in Ireland. Tell me more about that, because I think it's really important that we talk about the next step and the next evolution in the Dempsey Center.
Well, just the sustainability is the important thing, right? It's to be having brick and mortar facilities all over the country, the amount of money it would take to be able to do that it's just too much. And a lot of centers have started very much similar to our story. It was like our family was impacted, there was nothing in our community, and we wanted to do something and give back in memory of our mother, whoever was, impacted by cancer. And that's what you're seeing is a lot of these centers are coming from that place. So let us keep that. Let's keep that community support, because our success comes from our community.
Yeah.
That's why we've been able to be so, I think, successful is the individual support, and then also the corporate, and then just people in general understand the value of the services. So if we can connect with other like-minded centers around the world, then we can just keep improving what our services are and then share that with people.
Yeah.
And let the community support each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's key.
Yeah, we've used that word a lot today, community, and I think it's really important because we've seen today in the broadcast and in the show and in the ride, there's many people joining us from around the world.
Yeah.
I hosted some group rides leading up on Zwift where we had people from any country, you name it, they were there. We also had some...
I mean, look who's here joining us. We've got everybody represented.
All the flags of the world. And we had some special people there as well. We have people who are going through cancer right now. So they're using Zwift, they're using the bike to move and to stay healthy. Why is such a tool like this so important for people to be able to continue on their own journey as they move through cancer?
And also, too, let's talk about the survivors, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people are diagnosed earlier, they're going through treatment and they're surviving that, but there's always the specter, will it return? So the more we can stay physically active, that keeps us mentally and physically positive and strong. So that if there is a recurrence, then you have that much more power behind you that your instrument, that your body is strong enough to fight it. Those are important things to do. And that you're so much stronger when you work together.
Yeah.
When a house is divided, we see what happens, right? Nothing gets done.
Yeah.
This way, when you work together, I mean, there's nothing purer than someone who's just been recently diagnosed and how open they are and how in need of community and support and empathy and love. And these things are principles, and it's what we all need.
Yeah.
In the world right now more than ever.
Yeah. So special shout out to some of those folks who I rode with in the last couple of weeks. Nanny, who's going through her journey right now. Reed, who's in remission. So shout out to those guys. I know they're joining today. Yeah. Trevor Maxwell, who we shared some love with earlier. What a great guy.
Great guy.
Sending you love, mate. And also Connor O'Leary, as we mentioned, from Purple House, who is joining the ride today. So Connor, great to have you on the show as well.
Absolutely.
And in the ride. Now, this is just a small snippet of who's been touched by what we've done and what we've been able to create and provide at the Dempsey Center. Why don't we hear from some of our special friends from around the world who are sending their love on this special day?
Hey everyone, it's Kristen Armstrong here, and I just want to wish everyone their best during the Dempsey Challenge. I can't think of a better way than to ride towards something so amazing like the Dempsey Center, where they make life better for people managing the impact of cancer. So collectively, let's ride 50,000 miles to unlock $50,000 in support of a $1.5 million goal. Again, let's make life better for those impacted by cancer. Ride on.
I'm Fran, and I've been involved with the Dempsey Center for about 5 years now. First as a client, and then participating in the Dempsey Challenge. I'm the team captain for Fran's Army, and on behalf of all of us, we just want to let you know how much we appreciate your support.
Hey Zwift Riders, I'm Jackie. I'm one of our youth and family counselors here at the Dempsey Center. I just want to thank you so much for your participation today. Because of you, we're able to provide free counseling services, family programming, outdoor activities, adventure days, and so much more to kids and families that have been impacted by cancer in the state of Maine. I just want to thank you. This wouldn't be possible without your participation. Good luck today. You're going to do great on your ride.
Hi, I'm Tina, one of the volunteers here at the Dempsey Center, and this is Forrest, one of the Dempsey dogs. Thank you so much for your support.
Hey there, all you wonderful Zwift riders. My name is Tish Caldwell. I'm the Movement and Fitness Coordinator here at the Dempsey Center. Thank you for your ride today in support of the Dempsey Center, and because of you, I'm able to offer a variety of movement and fitness classes, workshops, and one-on-one consults at no cost to the clients of the Dempsey Center. Once again, thank you for your support, and have a great ride today.
Hey there, Zwift Riders. A big thank you from Poland Spring on the ride today. Because of you, services are offered free of charge to those who enter the Dempsey Center. Hey, don't forget to stay hydrated.
What an amazing, amazing show of support from around the world. Thank you for all of you who sent those videos. We really appreciate that. Patrick, there was a reminder there to stay hydrated. I haven't seen you drinking a lot today. Maybe you should take a sip just to make sure. You have some riding to do still.
Yeah, we do. We have, I think, another 15 minutes or so to go.
Yeah, you're doing amazingly. Now,
but it's funny. You can't help but get a little racy. You're like, oh, let's go. Gotta catch up. Then when I start talking, I fall back again.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Everyone wants to ride with you anyway, so that's fine. Now, Kristen Armstrong, the first message there, she sent a note saying that if we can unlock 50,000 miles as a community this weekend on this ride and the rides, runs, and walks that happen tomorrow on Zwift, that Zwift will unlock a $50,000 donation to the Dempsey Center. What about a word of encouragement for people who may be watching, unsure of whether they can participate tomorrow? What would you say, and what would you say about that generosity of the team here at Zwift?
That's amazing for that support for the cause. And I really encourage you to get out. You'll feel great doing something. It's very positive, and it makes such a huge impact to our community and hopefully people around the world. So please dig deep, keep pushing, and work out hard this weekend. Yep. And so if we couldn't do it without you, really thank you for the support.
Yeah, beautiful.
From a champion like that too, it's amazing. It's
unbelievable.
Incredible woman.
If you're not inspired by that, I don't know what you'd be inspired by.
Just had an opportunity to watch her race a few times. It was always really quite something as an individual and also as a team leader and just as an athlete and a true champion.
Yeah, true champion. Thank you for your time, Kristen, for that beautiful message. Now, there is still time for donations. It's not done yet. We are still striving for that $20,000 raise today, which will get us closer to that $1.5 million goal. givengain.com/e/Dempsey Challenge is where you can go and make that donation. There's also a link underneath the show. So please go and make a donation if you've felt inspired and moved by what you've seen today. Now, Patrick, you did share some thanks, but I want to give you another opportunity really to think about any final words of wisdom, encouragement, inspiration that you'd like to share with the audience today.
Well, I just want to thank you, number one, for being a part of this event and supporting us in our mission. I want to thank Specialized as well. They've been a supporter of this event from the very beginning. We couldn't do it without them and everybody that's participating. It makes a huge difference. And once again, if you know somebody who's been impacted by cancer, let them know about our services. And if there's a center near you, please get in touch with us. We want to network, we want to connect, and we want to make life better for people who've been impacted by cancer.
Yeah, amazing. Patrick, thank you.
Thank you.
You've done an incredible job today talking and riding. As I say, I felt like I've had the easy job.
It's a good pace. Now we're getting ready for the sprint finish.
You've got 11 minutes to go, so I'm going to leave you to that. Enjoy the final 11 minutes. And we're going to say thank you to the audience for watching and participating. Thank you for everybody for joining. Thank you to our sponsors, Amgen Oncology and Specialized. Thanks to the team at Zwift.
Everybody back home, want to thank everybody.
Yeah, all the fundraisers, all the team at the Dempsey Center, as well as the team from Zwift. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we do have the Dempsey Challenge events happening every hour, on the hour, so find a time that works for you. We will have multiple ride distances. We also have run and walk events. You can register for those and join in on the fun. And once again, 50,000 miles will unlock a super generous $50,000 donation from the team at Zwift. I'm Travis McKenzie. Thank you so much for joining us. Over and out from Zwift HQ. Patrick, enjoy the rest of the ride.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone at home. All the best.
Great job.